Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are in the world today. So, this is my daily uh, Spirit Animal Oracle series. And thank you for joining me again. My name is Gia, and the Spirit Animal Oracle for today is Skunk Spirit. So, Skunk Spirit is coming to talk with us today. And the impressions coming through with Skunk Spirit today is, well, first of all, Skunk wants us to know our worth. Know your worth. So, impressions coming through with this card. So, we all know the skunk has that defense mechanism built in of spraying um, in a defense mechanism, protective kind of way when it's feeling threatened. So, the it kind of follows along the lines of what's come up already in this series around, the things that part of us might want to identify in ourselves as faults, like, what's wrong with us? There's stuff wrong with us that I need to fix, whether that's concepts and ways that we think about things in ourselves or even physical attributes. Um, they're not faults, they are all a part of who we are. And so that divinely perfect blueprint, energetic, divine blueprint of ourselves, that our soul selves, our higher conscious selves, that our spirits that are working with and moving through our human bodies, that blueprint of ourselves is divinely perfect. So that's the message that's coming through as well with Skunk Spirit. So knowing our worth in that regard, that as we continue on this journey and on this path of merging that energetically divine blueprint of our spirit, of our soul's light, merging that with our human experiences, um, there is an opportunity to really value all of that and recognize that if things were meant to be any other way, they would be another way. And things as they are right now are the way that they're supposed to be. And that doesn't mean that we don't want to strive for, you know, optimal health and wellness for our physical body. But we want to be able to do that from a place of knowing that um, whatever the presentation is of our human body, it's perfect as it is. There are so many preconceived um, concepts of that in, I'll just speak from my experience growing up in the United States and having um, so many influences out there of like what we're supposed to look like, how we're supposed to present, what and for me personally, growing up, um, a lot of that was around, my skin color. I remember as a child, even amongst, my peers of brown skinned people, of African American people, um, there were still, even within our communities, just some things that predefined concepts and notions that just didn't fit, didn't make sense. But me trying to conform to those, I remember feeling like, oh, I need, my skin is dark, and I wanted things to be, my skin to be lighter, and so I would scrub my elbows and my knees extra hard when I would bathe myself because I felt like they were too dark, and I was adopting a concept of someone else's vision of what I am supposed to look like. So, Skunk Spirit wants us to remember, wants us to know our worth, wants us to remember that we are worthy of existing and being just as we are because we are here just as we are. We have incarnated into this experience, this human experience, and are worthy just in that regard, without any applied um, effort to that notion. So our presence is valuable just as we are. So again, we can strive to um, optimize our um, physical health by, you know, making decisions about what we want to uh, put in our human bodies to nourish that body, to nourish this body, what foods we want to eat, what things we want to consume to provide optimal health. We also want to enjoy this experience. So, that is one of the primary messages coming through. Another message coming through with Skunk Spirit, knowing your worth, is continuation with the healthy boundaries. I think that was from Butterfly Spirit initially in this series. So the healthy boundaries, um, discernment is innate when we are aligned with our true path and purpose. So in the same way that skunk has that built-in defense mechanism, that boundary, um, we innately, when we are aligned with our true selves, in harmony with our true selves, um, our higher consciousness merged with our human experiences, having healthy boundaries is absolutely appropriate, and we are able to discern um, when we need to have those in place, and we will be able to discern um, when we are moving through healing experiences that um, are creating a vulnerable state and place for us at any given time. And again, we are in this um, winter season in the United States, and so this um, winter season ending this year and starting a new one, again, that reflective, contemplative, introspective place that we often tend to be at this time of year, looking at it from a deep healing perspective, some of that deep healing when we're uprooting those triggers, those seeds of the traumas, when we're doing that deeper healing, sometimes we are um, vulnerable. We do feel a little bit vulnerable. So it is absolutely appropriate to recognize when to put those boundaries in place for ourselves. So, yes, Skunk Spirit. Today is Sunday, December 21st. The year is 2025. This is also the solstice today. Know your worth. So the other impression that's coming through now, um, in my childhood, I was often very shy, but I did have places that made me feel comfortable, where I would feel like I would shine, and that was in the creative arts and such. With animals, my connection with animals. I was a bit of a tomboy. Um, I didn't always feel like I fit, even though I tried at times in different ways, I didn't always feel like I fit in with the definitions that were being imposed upon me. I wouldn't have articulated it this way as a child, but I was very aware that I didn't fit into the assigned definitions of what people were telling me I was supposed to fit into. Even in my family environment, there were times where I was clearly aware that, um, though in public I was very shy, at home at times I was very defiant, very opinionated, and wasn't shy about expressing that in different ways at times that were considered inappropriate. And so, um, sometimes people refer to that kind of thing as like being the black sheep of the family. So that kind of is a characteristic that I kind of took on for myself. So Skunk Spirit wants us to know that if you've ever felt that way in any kind of context or environment, look at that as you expressing your absolute uniqueness, your absolute perfect uniqueness, and you are worthy as that black sheep of that circumstance, the odd one out, so to speak, the one that gets the attention because you're not fitting in to the um, imposed normals of that circumstance or situation, and lean into that uniqueness about yourself. um, I also think about the endearing, there's a cartoon when I was growing up, there was a Saturday morning cartoons, and Pepe Le Pew was was the cartoon skunk in that series, and so endearing and so special. So these are the impressions coming through from Skunk Spirit. Know your worth as the divinely perfect being, energetic, bright light that you are, moving through this human experience, and lean into knowing your worth as that higher consciousness, discerning um, when you need to set up those healthy boundaries for yourself as you move through your healing journey, your ascension journey. So let's invite Skunk Spirit today, Sunday, December 21st, into our lives today. Bring Skunk Spirit along for your experiences today. So just to move into reflections now about yesterday. So yesterday with Turkey Spirit, my reflection about working with Turkey Spirit yesterday. So my teacher, Nancy Rebecca, with Intuitive Mind, does these really beautiful solstice group events, and they're really large groups, like 400 or 500 people, 600 people online. And I really value the group healing experience. It is so incredibly amazing. On Friday, she had a group event that I did participate in, and this was around that 3-eye atlas that she has been calling elder, um, regarding how her impressions and knowings have come to her, connecting with 3-eye atlas. And that experience was so incredibly moving, and healing for me in a way that I didn't anticipate, even knowing how amazing these group experiences are. So I'm even still feeling the healing from that experience, that group experience. So moving. So today, I mean, yesterday, she had a solstice event yesterday afternoon, same kind of group event. And I had signed up for that as well. It was a group package, it was a package deal with the Friday and Saturday events. And tuning into my spirit, my higher consciousness, my higher wise self, my soul's light, I was being guided not to participate live in yesterday's event. And for me, initially, that felt very strange because I've always looked forward to those group events. But my spirit was letting me know that the energy would be too much for me as I was still and am still experiencing um, energetic release and healing and transformation from the Friday event. So I gave myself, remember, Turkey Spirit um, was reminding us to give with gratitude and grace, not only to others, but to ourselves. So I leaned in with Turkey Spirit and I gave myself the gift of listening to my spirit, listening to myself, and trusting that that was the right path for me. And even as I speak about this reflection, I can sense and feel energy moving, releasing, and healing within myself. So that was really a wonderful way to connect in with the messages from Turkey Spirit because I also tend to be one that has that FOMO, the fear of missing out on something. And so that was kicking in a little bit, but I'm so grateful for Turkey Spirit for reminding me to give myself grace, to give myself grace, and to be grateful for the healing that was already happening, the profound healing that was already happening. So that is my reflection, and I would love to read anyone else's reflections about their experience with Turkey Spirit yesterday. But once again, today is Sunday, December 21st, the solstice here in America, North America, and Skunk Spirit wants us to know our worth. So please invite in a way that is aligned for you, Skunk Spirit, into your experiences today and enjoy the journey. All right, thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.